What's going on, guys? So I wanted to talk about the current league and, kind of my thoughts and feelings with it so far. I'm just spitballing here. I don't have a script. I'm kind of just, coming out of pocket and just saying what I think and what I feel. So I'm going to try to keep things on topic and not, ramble on too much. But yeah, I mean, I'm relatively happy with the state of the game and the way the league is. I mean, there's obviously some pain points, and I think a lot of people feel the same way I do. At least I've seen a lot of people say a lot of the things that I feel on Reddit and Discord and things like that. And and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will probably align with with what I think. But yeah, I wanted just to kind of put this out here. So when the league first came out, I was pretty excited. All of the new skill gems coming, all of the transfigured skill gems, and then all of the new ascendancies. And I've always been a minion player, so seeing the new specters and seeing the wildwood ascendancy for minions, I thought that was super cool. And obviously time would tell that the charm ascendancy is obviously the best. I think that's pretty much what everybody goes. I think there's a handful of builds that do tinctures, but almost no one uses the minion one, which I thought when I first looked at it, I thought that was gonna be the strongest one, but then the charms obviously surpassed that. But anyways, I digress. I was super stoked about that stuff. And one of the things I love and hate about this game is that everybody min maxes to the max, right? And so after about, I would say probably the second, maybe even the first week, everyone kind of already had everything figured out. What skill gems were good, what transfigured skill gems were good, what builds were the best, right? What kind of Atlas strats around, like everyone had it basically figured out, right? So, which is not any different from the normal league. I mean, I kind of wished that we would have some more, and I shouldn't say that we don't have it, because really you can do whatever you want in the game, right? But this league has got a very unique situation where that just kind of doing whatever you want you can't really do that, right? And what I mean by that is that the magic find strategies and really just the wisp strategies are just so strong, and people are just getting so much currency, and so people are having divine drop explosions. I saw Subtractum stream a couple of days ago, or maybe it was a week ago, where he got two headhunters out of one map. And that's not uncommon, right? And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think seeing a raw headhunter or a raw mageblood drop in your maps was not that common before this league, right? It might happen, but it didn't happen multiple times like people were experiencing, especially not doubles, right? Usually you would get an apothecary card, or you get a doctor card, and then you would just dupe it with juice, right? That was usually what most people would do. That was actually a pretty viable strat, and people would just go after cards, right? And then gamble it with juice, and then get either the headhunter or the mageblood, and either sell it or keep it themselves, right? That was a go-to strat. But now people are just getting straight up raw magebloods and headhunters, right? And what this has done to the price, obviously, when there's a huge surplus of supply, right, the price is going to go down, right? So that in itself is not necessarily a bad thing, right? I'm not going to be a gatekeeper and be like, oh, well, I've always paid, 300 divines for my mage blood. Everyone else should have to do that, right? I don't care about that, right? But what it does is essentially what used to be a 300 divine, item is now only like 100, I think. Or I think a 3 flask is like anywhere from like 90 to 100, and then a 4 flask is probably like 150 to 160, something like that, the last time I checked. So what this does is now getting that item is not as valuable, right? For you, if you're going to sell, or if you're going to keep it, or if you need to buy one, it's amazing, right? But if you're if you get a mageblood drop in your map, right, it's not as valuable as it would be last league, right? And so that kind of changed into other things into the league, right? So that's just one part of it, right? So the more valuable items are becoming less value because there's just a ton of supply, right? Which, general supply and demand kind of stuff, right? But the things that are really in demand, all of the the sextants, the maps, specific maps for the abyss strats, all of these things, the price has gone way up, right? So in this league, you're in a unique situation where if you want to do juiced content and you want to do, the really, uber in-game stuff, you're kind of pigeonholed into doing like one of these meta builds, right? And I don't want to say meta builds, right? Because because you guys will say, oh, I'm sure someone will say, oh, Grom, there's all of these off meta strategies that you can do. You can boss rush, you can do Alva, and yeah, that's true. You can do that stuff, right? But that's like an alternate, right? Like the meta is the meta for a reason. The reason why everybody is doing the Magic Find strat is because it's just ridiculously overpowered, right? People are getting just so much currency, right? And so it's a unique situation where if you don't do the meta build or you don't use a wisp empowered strat, right, you're just not even really making enough money to survive, right? You're not making enough currency to survive. And before, like, I tried doing sanctums because I was just trying to see what else is out there. And also too, the other things, everything's become so expensive. Even like juice is crazy expensive right now. If you look at, and part of that's because of just the inflation of the economy and just how much currency is just in the economy right now. But also too, nobody's really doing harvest, right? So juice is like let's see the price of juice right now. Let's see how much is juice. Yeah, Mage Bloods, it looks like they're like 120 for a 3 flask. Is that correct? Let's see. Yeah, 120. So they went up a little bit. So I got a deal on mine. I bought mine for 85 divines last week, I think. So looks like they've gone up a little bit. But yeah, they're around looks like 1 to 120. But yeah, let's see how much juice is. So we want exotic currencies, we want juice, and we want divine. Let's see how much juice is. 1,500. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's normally half this price, right? So like, basically, if you're doing harvest, right, and you're doing crop rotation and you're doing harvest sextants and you're fully expecting to harvest, you can get easily 1,000 juice a map, easy, right? And then like a really juicy map, you can get like 3,000-4,000 juice, right? Sometimes more. And so like, you can make a couple divines off of juice just in one map, right? But that's still not enough, which is like crazy. Like last league, if I was making a divine off of one map just in juice, like, I'd be ecstatic, right? So it's just a unique situation, right? And I don't know. It's just crazy because there's just, the wisps are just so good, and it's like, I kind of like, and I never wish for there to be nerfs in a game. I never wished for the power to be toned down, right? I feel like that's, someone's having fun with that, right? So I don't want to rain on someone's, I don't want to yuck somebody else's yum, right? But at the same time, it's like, this is not really good for the game, right? And I feel like there's got to be like a middle road, and I don't know how you would fix it. I don't know how you would tone it back, because I don't think I would want it removed. I think it just needs to be toned back, or maybe GGG's just riding the wave until the next league and let everyone kind of have their heyday, and then next league, we're all going to be poor as shit and just kind of going through it. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And it's frustrating because there's a lot of things I wanted to try and there's a lot of things that I wanted to do, and I really can't, because it's just, you're kind of pigeonholed into doing some sort of abyss strat, or an abyss. Abyss or wisp strat is what I meant to say. But the normal thing is, wisps, abyss. I think everyone's doing beyond, and that's kind of the thing. So I don't know, man. I'm still gonna play the league out. I'm still gonna keep going. I ended up re-rolling a new character. I'm trying out the what is it called? The fracturing bolt, a build, a kinetic fracturing bolt. I don't know, man. It's just the league's in a weird spot, and I don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of just yep. I think I think I'm ready for the next league, and I usually don't say that. I'm like the kind of person that plays until like the very end, you know, the last couple of days. But I'm already kind of over this league, and I just kind of want the next league to come. So, yep, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and yep, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.